still, of course, so much that we don't know about this new variant. How likely is it, do you think, that it will need a different vaccine, and how long might it take to make one?
Yeah, I mean, how likely it is, that is really the $100 billion question, right? So we saw Moderna's CEO yesterday coming out saying it's very likely we need a new vaccine. Pfizer, on the other hand, has said they don't think it's that likely. Many scientists think it is very likely because it's a very different virus, Omicron, from the Delta. So I think we don't really know. But if it is the case, it will take, so we modeled this, it will take at least half a year before we get anywhere near enough vaccines to vaccinate big parts of the world. So that would have tremendous ramifications for global protection if Omicron overtakes Delta and if we need new vaccines.
So how difficult will that be? What will the main challenges be in getting that up and running as soon as possible?
Yeah, well, so we saw what happened this year, right? So I think it's quite remarkable that we look to have produced, the world has produced around 11 billion vaccines, we project, at the end of the year. But shifting that production capacity over to a new vaccine takes time. It takes around 100 days from detecting the new variant to kind of starting to have the production. And that's only for the mRNA vaccines, which are the ones that are faster to reconfigure. But then you need to actually start having the production ramp up. And also, although there is a lot of vaccine production capacity out there, and we're now producing kind of a billion a month, it's not something that can happen very quickly. For the other vaccines, the non-mRNA vaccines, the biological vaccines, it will take even longer. We saw kind of in the beginning of the pandemic how long it took for them. For instance, the AstraZeneca, we also saw the Russian Sputnik vaccine and others, Novavax, that has really struggled with ramping up. So some of that is expected to be seen again.
And we've obviously found out a lot over the past 2 years about making vaccines quickly. What lessons have we learned?
Well, I think, first of all, we've learned that we can do it much faster than we thought we could. When I say 100 days, that might sound like a long time if we're all kind of waiting for a new vaccine, but that is just actually remarkably fast compared to how it used to be. It used to be taking 5, sometimes even 10 years to develop a new vaccine. So the whole thing has been massively accelerated. We also know we can create vaccines that are more targeted, more specifically targeted at a given virus. We know we have higher efficacy. So we saw the kind of 90-95% efficacy of Moderna and Pfizer, which is also, again, quite remarkable. If you look at flu vaccines, for instance, they're only around 50%, or even lower. So I think we've learned the vaccine market is in a very different place. But still, with that, it still will take time to have enough vaccines to the whole world if that's needed.
Well, I wanted to pick up on that point because once a vaccine is in play, there's likely to be a race for countries to get their hands on it. How harmful could that be in the move towards getting everyone vaccinated?
Yeah, I think it's very likely we see the same global inefficiencies we saw so far, in the spring, where we see that some countries are trying to get as many as they can fast. They do exclusive contracts. They over procure. So a lot of these dynamics are likely to happen again. We're going to see COVAX coming kind of end of the line, and the global vaccine inequities that we are currently witnessing with big parts of the world not being vaccinated is very likely to be replicated again, sadly.